The hall was huge and cold, filled with hundreds of alien leaders. Bright lights floated above them, casting strange colors on their skin. Some had scales, some had fur. Others glowed or shimmered like glass. They all looked at the center of the room where the human stood. Her name was Lyra. She was Earth's final peace envoy. She wore no armor. She carried no weapon. Just a plain gray suit with a small Earth symbol on the chest. Her eyes were calm, but sharp. She had come many light years to speak one last time. The High Speaker of the Galactic Council leaned forward. He was tall and thin, with blue feathers and 6 fingers on each hand. "You again," he said with a sneer. "Earth sends its soft voice one more time. Still hoping for mercy?" Lyra didn't flinch. "We do not seek mercy," she said. "We offer peace." Again. A wave of laughter spread through the room. Deep growls. Clicking noises. Robotic chuckles. Many found her words amusing. Some found them insulting. A bulky creature with tusks slammed a fist on the table. "Your colonies are weak. Your people slow. Your tech behind. What makes you think peace is something you can offer?" Lyra looked at him, calm, because we held back, she said simply. That made the room quiet for a moment. And the laughter returned, louder this time. The High Speaker waved his hand. "Enough. Earth has said its peace. We have made our vote. The Council rejects Earth's request for peace." Lyra took a slow breath, then reached into her pocket. She pulled out a small device. A hologram appeared, static at first, then clear. A human. Space station burning, civilian ships exploding. Screens and sensor logs. Enemy fleet codes. It was from only hours ago. "The Council voted," Lyra said. "But your fleets didn't wait. They attacked our colony at New Estra." The room shifted. Some looked uncomfortable. Others looked smug. "That was not approved," the High Speaker said. "But it happened," Lyra said. "And it means your vote was just for show." She put the device back in her pocket. Her voice became colder, sharper. "This was our last try. For years, Earth has swallowed your insults. We held our warriors back. We buried our weapons. We taught our people to trust." She stepped back toward the center of the circle. But now, the last voice of peace returns home. And what follows her won't speak in words. An alien delegate stood up, angry. "Are you threatening the Council?" Lyra shook her head slowly. "I'm explaining the future." Then she pressed a button on her wrist. A blue light blinked. Transmission confirmed. Earth's leaders had just received her final message. Peace has failed. Prepare for retaliation. She looked around the room one last time. You had your chance. You chose to mock it. Earth remembers. Then she turned and walked away. Not one alien dared stop her. As the heavy doors closed behind her, the High Speaker whispered, "Fools, they'll bring war." Another delegate, smaller and older, turned to him. "No," he said quietly. "They'll bring humans." Asterisk high. Above Earth's outer colony, New Estra, the sky looked calm. Children played in green parks. Ships moved in straight lines between floating towers. The people believed peace was real. After all, Earth had promised the galaxy it would never start a war. But war had already started. From behind one of New Estra's 3 moons, something massive began to move. Black ships, silent and sharp like blades. Hundreds of them. No signal. No warning. They appeared in orbit like ghosts, invisible until it was too late. Inside Orbital Station 9, Captain Wren stared at the radar screen. His face turned pale. "They're cloaked ships," he whispered. "Galactic Armada signatures. They're not even trying to hide anymore." Beside him, a young officer's hands shook. "But we're a civilian hub, sir. We've done nothing. Ren stood tall. That doesn't matter now. Send the alert planetary defense condition. Black. The alarm blared through the station. Red lights blinked. Families rushed to shelters. Pilots ran to launch bays. But Earth had not placed heavy weapons here. This was a peace colony. Ren watched the enemy ships begin their descent. The lead ship charged its cannons. Send a message to command, he said. Tell them New Estra is under attack. And tell them. He paused. Tell them Lyra was right. A moment later, fire filled the sky. The first strike hit the orbital dock. Civilian transports exploded. The second strike tore through the agricultural domes on the surface. People screamed. Families ran with no place to hide. Ren's station shook violently. Consoles exploded. Oxygen systems failed. One officer turned to him, coughing. Captain, what do we do? Ren stared at the stars, burning red. We hold. Until we can't. Back on Earth, the broadcast from Lyra had arrived. Earth's leaders sat in silence. A giant screen showed her standing in the council hall, calmly declaring the end of peace. Then came the second transmission live footage from New Estra. Everyone in the command chamber watched as alien warships destroyed cities and silenced thousands. One general stood. We should have struck first. The president of Earth, a calm older woman named Ilma, looked at him. No, she said. We offered peace until the very last moment. She turned to her staff. Activate protocol, unshackled. Full clearance. Every black project, every hidden. Fleet, every war unit. But President, an aide whispered. That protocol hasn't been used since the first expansion war. Ilma's eyes were cold. Exactly. Meanwhile, inside the enemy fleet aboard the flagship Grol Ken, the alien warlord Karvik laughed. Earth did not fire. They begged instead. His officers smiled. One of them showed a captured broadcast. The humans still think we want their surrender. They are weak. Predictable. Karvik crushed a data chip in his claw. Good. Let them watch. Let them run. By the time they scream, we'll already be there. He looked out the window. Next target, Earth itself. But something strange happened. A long-range alarm sounded. A fleet had jumped into nearby space. One of the alien officers frowned. That's impossible. No scheduled movements. Another shouted, Sir, it's human, but this doesn't match any Earth registry. Dozens of massive warships appeared from folded space dark, silent, heavily armed. A signal followed. Just one sentence. Earth has unshackled its guardians. Karvik felt fear for the first time. Back on New Estraran station was breaking apart. He held onto a metal rail as explosions rocked the floor. Suddenly, the enemy ships began pulling. Back. They were retreating fast. Ren looked up. What's happening? A voice crackled through the broken comms. This is Admiral Nira of the UN's Obsidian Star. Hold position. Reinforcements have arrived. Ren crawled to the nearest window, and there he saw them, Earth's secret fleet, dark ships shaped like daggers, surrounding the enemy with perfect silence. No light, no sound, just power. For years, Earth had built these ships in hidden space, not to start wars, but to end them when peace failed. It had failed. And now the gloves were off. Darkness filled the war room under Earth's surface. The walls were metal. The air was cold. No cameras, no reporters. Just war minds, generals, commanders, scientists, and Earth's president, Ilma, standing at the center. No one spoke at first. A massive screen showed New Estra burning. Civilian ships had no chance. Only the arrival of Earth's hidden fleet had stopped full destruction. President Ilma raised her voice. Are we still waiting for more proof? General Mara stood. She was old, with scars down her neck. Her voice was heavy. No, ma'am. The enemy spoke loud and clear. The Galactic Council betrayed us. President Ilma nodded. She tapped a small button in front of her. This is my official command, she said. Initiate order. Unshackled. Activate every black protocol. Everyone in the room straightened. Some swallowed hard. That order meant one thing: total war. Hours later, Earth's hidden sites come alive in the deserts of Mars. Bunkers opened. Inside, giant mechs powered up and used for decades. In the oceans of Europa, submarines rose from the icy depths, their sides glowing with strange energy. Titan's dark side, war factories long thought shut down, came to life. Assembly arms moved fast. Drones flew. AI cores whispered battle songs. And from a massive station just past Pluto, Earth's most feared project, Fleet Blackstar, was released. 20 warships, cloaked in silence, shaped like blades, powered by black matter drives, piloted by soldiers, trained not for defense, but for eradication. In orbit, Ren's return Captain Ren had been pulled from New Estra after the enemy retreated. He now stood inside the command deck of the Obsidian Star, one of Earth's oldest Death Fleet carriers. He stared at the hologram of the galaxy, now marked in red. How bad is it? He asked. Admiral Naira pointed at the expanding zones. Multiple. Colonies gone. Civilians hunted. Peace envoys executed. And the worst part? The Council did nothing to stop it. Ren's jaw clenched. So what now? Naira looked at him. Now we stop being polite. She handed him a new datapad. You're being reassigned. Ren, your new ship is Iron Veil. You'll lead a strike group directly into the galactic core. Hit their fuel worlds, communication towers, and the ones that gave the orders. Ren glanced at the file. Are we going to declare war officially? Naira shook her head. The time for words is over. This is the reply they chose. Meanwhile, Galactic Council panic in the high tower of the Galactic Council. Alarms were blaring. Delegates shouted. Screens flashed. Human fleets are moving in 12 sectors. We lost contact with 2 armadas. There are reports of Earth weapons that bend light. What is this tech? The high speaker sat frozen. The same smug aliens who laughed. Evlira now looked terrified. One delegate whispered, We pushed them too far. Another cried out, Call for talks, now. But the council system returned only silence. Earth wasn't talking anymore. Back in deep space, Blackstar. Fleet moves, no music. No signal. No banners. Just warships gliding through folded space, like sharks in an endless ocean. Each ship was armed with dark matter bombs, II target hunters, and anti-fleet torpedoes. Their orders were clear. Wipe out every fleet, every supply station, and every stronghold that touched New Estra. No more peace talks. No more warnings. Humanity had tried to be kind. Now they were done. Captain Ren, preparing to strike inside the Iron Veil. Ren walked through the corridors. Soldiers stood tall. Engineers worked in silence. Every person knew what they were about to do. He stood before his crew. No one wanted this war, he said. But we're not the ones who fired first. He looked into their eyes, tired, angry, focused. We tried peace. They answered with fire. So now, we show them what happens when Earth fights without holding back. The crew saluted. Engines roared to life. And in the cold space between stars, humanity's fury began to move. Asterisk space was quiet. Too quiet. In Sector 9, deep within the galactic core, 6 alien supply worlds floated peacefully. Massive storage stations orbited each one. Cargo ships moved in straight paths. There was no alarm, no warning. Then they came. Without a sound, Fleet Blackstar dropped out of fold space like ghosts. Human warships dark, sharp, and silence surrounded the sector in perfect formation. No announcements. No light shows. Just movement. Fast, clean. Deadly dot inside the command bridge of the Iron Veil. Captain Wren stared ahead. Final lock confirmed, his officer said. All targets ready. Wren gave the order with a single word. Fire. Terror without sound from. Above, Earth's warships released a wave of invisible destruction. One planet lost power instantly. Its sky cracked with dark lightning. No warning systems worked. The command towers exploded before a single alarm could ring. In orbit, a Galician dreadnought, the strongest ship in that sector, vanished under a direct hit from an Earth particle. Cannon. There were no survivors. No escape. Aliens on nearby ships panicked, but their engines froze. Their communications were jammed. Their defense systems were 5 seconds too slow. Human stealth drones had already breached their hulls. Elsewhere, a surrender denied on the 3rd station. An alien commander opened a channel. We surrender. We surrender. We had no part in the attack on New Estra. But Earth's reply was just static. Then a voice came cold and clear. You stood beside the ones who gave the order. Now you'll fall with them. The screen went black. Moments later, their bridge exploded. No prisoners. The Council watches in shock. Back on the Galactic Council's homeworld. The Council chamber was in chaos. The humans didn't even warn us. One alien shouted. They used fold-hopping tech jumping across gravity wells. That's impossible. We can't track their fleet. Where will they hit next? The high speaker held his head in his hands. Everything is collapsing. A younger delegate whispered. They aren't fighting like before. This isn't defense. This is destruction. Another voice added. They were quiet for too long. Now, the gloves are off. Lyra's return far away. Lyra stood once more in the Council's empty chamber. She had returned alone. The once busy hall was nearly silent now. Most delegates had fled or gone into hiding. Lyra walked slowly to the center. She turned on her wrist recorder and stared into the lens. This is Lyra of Earth. I speak now, not to beg, but to remind. Her voice was cold, calm. We offered peace. We waited, even after insults and sabotage. We came with open hands. You answered with fire. She looked straight ahead. Now Earth answers with fire too. But we won't stop halfway. We won't pause to ask again. There will be no second warnings. She turned off the recorder. A single tear slid down her cheek, not for the enemies, but for the cost. Even peace had a price when no one respected it. Wren's strike continues inside the Iron Veil. The crew moved like a machine. Captain Wren stood before a 3D map showing dozens of enemy targets. Report. 3 command stations gone, sir. 2 supply moons destroyed. No human casualties. Wren nodded. He zoomed in on one remaining base, a fortress world. The place where many of the orders to attack New Estra had originated. Next target. He said. Then, his screen blinked. A message. Incoming enemy fleet. Wren smiled for the first time. Finally. They think they can fight. He turned to his crew. Let's show them why Earth stopped holding back. The galaxy responds in different corners of the galaxy. Other alien powers were watching, some with fear, others with curiosity. Some small species began sending peace offers to Earth, begging for alliance. Others prepared for war. But one thing was clear across every system, every channel. The galaxy was no longer laughing at humans. The gloves were off. Earth had changed, and now the universe would change with it or be left behind in ashes. Asterisk. The battlefield above Epsilon Grid 4 was like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Flames burned in the sky. Giant warships drifted in pieces. Space was filled with shattered hulls, leaking fuel, and silent bodies. at the center of it all. The human. Battleship Iron Veil floated, still undamaged, still dangerous. Inside, Captain Wren stood at the viewing window. His voice was low. "We didn't want this," he said. Beside him, his communications officer spoke quietly. "But they made the choice for us." Wren nodded. He didn't enjoy victory. Not like this. But he knew what had to be done. Earth had been kind for too long. They tried every peaceful way. And the galaxy answered them with lies, attacks, and blood. Now, the galaxy was learning who humans really were. When they stopped trying to be gentle. On the ground, ashes and echoes. Epsilon. Grid 4 had once been a proud alien stronghold. Large cities covered its surface, glowing with power and pride. Now, those cities were rubble. Human ground forces had arrived quickly, wearing armor coated in black carbon. Their boots crushed enemy defenses in minutes. No mercy, no games. The operation had a name: Silent Justice. An alien soldier hid behind broken walls, holding a broken weapon. He watched the humans move through the smoke fast, quiet, professional. One of them saw him. A laser sight landed on his chest. The alien dropped his weapon and raised his arms. He shouted, "I surrender." A moment passed. The human didn't shoot. Instead, he nodded and moved on. The alien sat frozen, confused, shaking. The humans weren't monsters, but they could have been. Alien civilians begged for peace across nearby systems. Alien civilians began transmitting messages to Earth. "Are not your enemies. Our leaders chose war, we didn't. Please talk to us." Earth didn't reply right away. The leaders of Earth were still deciding what came next. They didn't want to rule the galaxy. They just wanted to make sure no one would ever hurt them again. In Earth's command center, President Ilma watched the battlefield reports in silence. Aides around her read updates. 79 enemy ships destroyed. 13 major planets surrendered. 0 human casualties in the last 3 operations. Ilma rubbed her eyes. "We never wanted these numbers," she whispered. One general turned to her. "Ma'am, do we stop?" Ilma shook her head slowly. "Not yet. We end this properly. We take down the warlords. Every last one. Then, and only then, we open our doors again. The warlords collapse in hidden fortresses. The alien warlords who once mocked. Earth now lived in fear. They had sent fleets, bombs, assassins, and failed. Their armies were broken. Their allies abandoned them. Now, one by one, they were being hunted. Black Star units, moving in small strike teams, used stealth drones and orbital lasers to erase them from the galaxy. Not captured, not judged. Erased. A warlord named Drecker stood in his stone command room, surrounded by guards. "This is my fortress. No human can breach it." Just then, the lights cut out. One guard screamed, then silence. Moments later, only smoke remained. A single message was burned into the wall: "You should have chosen peace." Wren stares into the fireback aboard Iron Veil. Wren stood again at the glass window. Below, the last enemy ship was crumbling into the atmosphere. "Sir," an officer said, "the warlords are nearly gone. Only 2 targets left." Wren didn't smile. "We didn't want this," he said again. But the officer replied, "No, but we were the only ones willing to finish it." Wren turned away from the fire below. "Prepare the final strike group," he ordered. "We end this with honor." One last message from Lyra in the quiet halls of Earth's diplomatic corps. Lyra recorded one more message. It was short. It was direct. "To those who remain, we don't want to rule you. We don't want revenge. But if you raise your weapons again, we won't ask twice." She sent the message to every known species in the galaxy. The galaxy listened. And for the first time in years, no one replied with mockery. asterisked the sky above Volta Prime. The last stronghold of the warlords was dark and broken. Once it had glittered with wealth and power. Golden towers reached the clouds. Alien elites drank and laughed in crystal halls. Now, they hid underground shaking above the clouds. Earth's final strike group arrived. The Iron Veil, the Black Hammer, and the Starborn Edge all silent, all armed. Captain Wren stood on the bridge of the Iron Veil, watching the planet rotate slowly. "This is the last one," his officer said. Wren nodded. His voice was tired, but steady. No more speeches, no more mercy. Just justice. Volter's last stand below. Warlord Kresh paced back and forth in his hidden command bunker. His generals argued. "They've surrounded the system. There's no escape. Send the surrender signal. Say we were forced." Kresh slammed his fist on the table. "They won't accept it. Not after what we did. Not after New Estra." Suddenly, the lights flickered. The bunker shook. Kresh looked up, and for the first time in his life, he felt fear that pierced his soul. Above him, the sky was turning red. Earth had arrived. The final strike, the Black Hammer, released its payload gravity shells that crushed defenses from orbit. The Starborn Edge sent cloaked drones into the capital. And from the Iron Veil, Wren gave one final command: end this. In moments, Volter's shields collapsed. Its armies fell before they could even organize. The bunkers cracked open. Every warlord command post turned to rubble. There were no warnings, no speeches, no negotiations. Earth had warned them 100 times before. But now, there were no more warnings. After the silence, when the dust settled, Earth's forces didn't stay. They didn't plant flags. They didn't claim new territory. They simply left. One message was transmitted across every remaining system: we tried. Peace, you chose war. Now we leave you with what remains. In the Galactic Council's empty hall months later, the council hall sat quiet. Dust covered the seats. Some leaders had fled. Others had vanished. Only a few came back, quiet, humble, shaken. Lyra stood once more in the center. She wasn't there to negotiate. She wasn't there to ask. She simply looked around at the faces still brave enough to appear. Then she said one line: "Next time, believe us when we say, we're holding back." And she walked out alone. The doors shut behind her with a final echo. A new galaxy piece didn't return easily, but it returned. Small alliances formed again, this time with respect. Alien races who once mocked Earth now taught their children about humanity's fire, and hidden on hundreds of worlds, signs appeared in old languages: do not provoke the humans. Some remembered Earth's kindness. Others remembered Earth's silence. But all remembered this: when the gloves come off, humans don't fight to win. They fight to end it. Final scene: Earth on Earth. Captain Wren walked through a quiet park. Chirped. Children played. The sky was calm. A young boy ran up to him. "Mister, is it true? Did you see the alien warlords?" Wren smiled a little. "Yes," he said. "And now they're gone." The boy looked up with wide eyes. "Were you scared?" Wren looked toward the peaceful sky. "A little," he said. "But they should have been more scared of us."